What needs to be done?
Look, a military encampment's a complicated thing. I don't expect it to be as peaceful and orderly as Holy Mass. But what we have here now is havoc. The men are as nervous and short-tempered as caged bears. When you walk around the camps, you'll see for yourself. Grumbling everywhere, complaints about everything from the gruel to the fleas. They're moaning they've drunk the alehouse dry, and now they have to wait for the next batch of beer. We've got dead who deserve a decent burial, and a lot of wounded, including one of their lordships. The less the troops grumble, the better off we'll all be. But that's not even the main problem.
What do you mean?
Did you hear what Sir Divish was saying to Fafar, our master builder?
I heard some of it.
And what did you make of it?
He said he'd never built a trebuchet catapult. I wouldn't even know where to start, but he might.
But, if it'll take him as long as he said, we can't wait until Judgment Day. We don't have that much time.
I'll try to ask him if I can help in some way.
You should definitely do that. Without a trebuchet, we're much too weak.
How are you faring, Sir Robard?
How do you think I'm faring, lad? There's some cutthroat thugs lolling about in my bed at the castle.
Well, at least no one's raised Talmberg.
Not so far. Though we may end up doing it ourselves to smoke the bastard.
I imagine Sir Divish isn't taking...
And why do you think he handed command over to me? But it pains my heart, too. That place is my home.
Is there anything you can tell me about Talmberg's weak points?
The truth is, Talmberg has far too few weaknesses. Who'd have thought that was something I'd come to regret?
And what about the walls? Which side is the most vulnerable?
The south and east are solid. It would be useless to try anything there.
It's best defended from the north, and as for the west...
From the west is where we tried it, and got royally fucked, if you recall. But I think in the end we'll try that way again, only this time we'll do it better.
Is there some way we can get through the gate?
There are steps from the gate up to the walkway on the battlements, and I don't know how Ishtvan's covering them. Then there's the portcullis to get through. A big battering ram might breach it, but how could you get one that close? I reckon we'll have to set fire to it.
Stuck up brushwood and light it?
Brushwood, timber, anything that burns, soaked in as much pitch as possible.
And even if it doesn't burn the gate right down, it'll weaken it and make it easier to break.
Exactly.
Do you think Sigismund will?
How do I know what's in his head? But if he doesn't take advantage of this chaos, someone else probably will. The whole country will know about it soon enough.
I'd never have thought so many people were keeping an eye on Talmberg. Like that fellow Havel.
Not only Talmberg, and we've left precious few men in Ratai. If we're defeated here, who's to stop them from pillaging the whole province? And there's no shortage of power-hungry bastards like Havel and Toth in Bohemia.
Pity they didn't stay holed up in Vranic for longer. It would have been much easier there.
Toth is a wily fox. If he'd had all his men with him there, there would have been real carnage. It's likely we only won there because he'd already gone and taken most of his best soldiers with him.
Is there anything else I can...
Well, we need some pitch. I know you had dealings with the charcoal burners.
I've met a few, true enough.
Then have a look around the area. If you manage to find any pitch, bring it to our quartermaster in the camp at the quarry.
What's the easiest way to take back Talmberg?
The easiest way? Call in the Royal Army and leave it to them. But there's no Royal Army to help us now, and we can't afford to wait. What's more, we don't want to destroy the castle. Personally, I'd like to return to it.
Repairing the castle would be expensive.
And time-consuming. No trebuchets wholly on target. The missiles fly as they please. And if we blast the castle to pieces and Sigismund comes back, he'll make short work of us.
Pity they didn't stay holed up in Vranic.
Toth is a wild... Farewell. I'm honored that tonight...
Our thing...
I wish it was all over and done with.
There we all.
I've never been in a siege, but I hear it can last weeks or even months. Farewell.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
Sir Robard sent me to you. He said you have to build a trebuchet.
Indeed. A trebuchet that can smash the walls of Tamburg. I, a mining engineer. What do I know of war machines? I'll never manage it on my own.
Well, I'd like to help you, but how? I don't know anything about trebuchets either.
Actually, there is a way you could help. Conrad Keyser came to Sasso recently. If you could get him to come here, it would save my skin.
Conrad Keyser? Who's he?
He's a scholar who studied medicine, but he also designed siege engines. He even took part in the siege of Nicopolis, together with Sigismund.
He was with Sigismund?
It's not so straightforward. They quarrelled after the battle, after Conrad blamed their defeat on Sigismund.
I don't suppose he took that too well.
Quite. That's what led to Conrad being banished from Prague and making a base at Bethlehem Castle.
Banished? Like a common criminal?
He was a member of the court and a doctor and a master engineer, so nothing quite that bad befell him. I've even heard he has a whole host of wise men with him and they're writing some book together.
What's he doing here in Sassau?
They sent him over here to help with building the monastery. No doubt they had to pay handsomely to get him.
And how am I supposed to get him here? Abduct him?
Well, only if all else fails. We need his cooperation. Try having a word with him. By all accounts, he hates Sigismund.
All right, I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Henry. Maybe we will build that trebuchet after all. Take care.
Yeah. Do you happen to know the whereabouts of Conrad Keyser?
And what do you want from the old buzzard? What? That old fool? The one who spends his time poring over old books instead of at the tavern? He's all locked away at the custodian's house. That's the big place in the courtyard by the monastery. Take care now. Look out!
Oh, come on. God be with you.
Whose house is this?
It's our local custodians. The most esteemed.
You don't seem to think very much of him.
Well, of course I do. A man with a nose so stuck up that...
What does the custodian do anyway?
Well, he's meant...
But
But in fact, he seems more interested in robbing everyone blind.
I'm much obliged. Is this where Conrad Keyser lives?
Indeed. The world-renowned Conrad Keyser.
I need to speak to him.
Oh, really? Whatever for?
Tobias Fayfire has sent me. He's asking Master Conrad for help with the siege of Talmberg.
Must be important then. Go in. Well, I don't know how he can help from here. Here's the key. Take care now.
Enter. Huh? By the horn of Joshua, you startled me. I thought you were urban. What do you want?
Sir Tobias Fayfire, the master builder and engineer from Skalitz, sends his greetings.
Fayfire? Tobias Fayfire? I've heard of him. He invented an interesting mining machine. What does he need?
Sir, have you heard what's been going on in Talmberg?
I've heard a thing or two. Is it true the castle's been taken?
It has, and we want to take it back. Master Fayfire has been given the task of building a trebuchet, but he's not sure he can manage it.
I doubt it myself. Building siege engines is an entirely different kettle of fish than mining. Damn, I'd like to rain some boulders on those heathens of Sigismund's. But that can't be done with a quill and parchment, and I can't leave here right now.
Why can't you leave?
That's a long story. I was a little, more than a little, critical of Sigismund's efforts at Nicopolis. And it might surprise you to know, after that defeat, he didn't particularly appreciate my criticism. Then, when Sigismund abducted the king, I didn't feel too secure in Prague, so I left. Perhaps left is the wrong word. Some might say I was banished. In any case, I went to Bettelern Castle.
They locked you up in Bettlern.
Not quite. It's a royal castle. They leave me to my own devices there. Frankly, this so-called banishment has been a bit of a blessing. I have peace and quiet to attend to my opus and a band of able assistants. Although I have lost quite a few of my patrons thanks to all this unrest.
And why are you here in Sassa?
To be honest, I need the money.
Money, sir? You don't seem like a man who lives in want.
Dear me, no. I don't need it to support myself. It's to fund my opus. That's why I agreed to help with the construction of the monastery. So you see, I can't simply take my leave.
Could I not just pay off the master builder for your services?
I doubt it. Carol is only interested in the construction. As long as he has the money to pay the craftsman's wages, that's all he needs.
Ah, as long as he has enough for wages, you say?
Yes, what are you thinking?
Couldn't Carol be persuaded somehow? After all, the defence of the province is at stake.
I realize that, but Sassa Monastery has always kept its neutrality. What's more, the abbot isn't here at present, and without his permission, Carol won't be persuaded. But I might have another idea.
What do you suggest?
Carol received his commission in writing. If you found it, we could, Well, we could copy the abbot's seal and signature on our own document.
That's a curiously interesting idea.
My inventiveness has many applications. I could be back here before the abbot, so he won't even know I was gone.
How do I get my hands on the commission?
It will be somewhere in his quarters. You'll need to get it quickly and put it back before he notices it's gone. I suggest waiting until evening. That's when Carol usually goes to the tavern to play dice. He's fond of his dice. Maybe you can take advantage of that somehow.
Right. I'll see what I can do. You really can't come with me right away?
Damn. I'd like to rain some boulders on those heathens of Sigismund.
I'll try.
Look here, I don't want any trouble. Greeting.
I've got that commission.
Not so loud, for heaven. The very thing. Go to the Sasau scribe and say to him the fox isn't half as clever as he thinks. Then he'll do as you ask.
Is that a password?
Just so. He insists on it. Don't forget to repeat it verbatim and aloud. Then all you have to do is take the new document to Carol and tell him a messenger brought it.
All right.
But most importantly, do it quickly and put the commission back. Carol's no fool. If he can't find it, he'll put two and two together when you bring him the new document, and the game will be up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad to see.
I have a message. The fox is a lot cleverer than it thinks.
What?
The part
What in hell?
Conrad Keyser sent me.
Why the hell didn't you say so?
That sod. He deliberately lied to me to make me look stupid.
Well, never mind. What do you want?
I've got this document here, and I need to have a different one drawn up with the same signature and seal.
So Conrad is still up to his old tricks. Give him my greetings. Let's see it then. All right. Give me an hour. And I hope I won't have problems on your account. God be with you. Good luck then.
Is it done?
Here you are. God be with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
God be with
A messenger brought a dispatch for you.
hand of charge sisters. Permission to leave Sasau? How very convenient for you.
The Hand of Fate.
We'll see what fate brings. I have an authorization letter of my own from the abbot, and if your letter of patent is fake, you'll be in trouble. Come with me. May the Lord watch over you. Hey. Well, it goes against the...
So Conrad may leave?
He can. The letter of patent is genuine, and when the abbot commands...
Wonderful. I'll tell him.
May the Lord watch over you.
They're after me! Sweet Jesus, I knew this day would come!
What? Who is... Carol said you can leave and...
Leave? I can't even set foot outside the door! Not now!
Please, calm down and tell me what's going on.
They're after me!
Who? Who's after you?
Sigismund's people, of course!
Why would they be after you?
Because he's never forgiven my criticisms of Nicopolis. Now he's decided to pay me back. What am I to do?
What makes you think someone's after you?
When I was on my way to Sassau, I saw Baron Pekar in Kosterlitz. He was with Sigismund on the crusade, as was I. Now I've been told he was seen at the local tavern. And a stranger's been creeping around the gardens here late at night. My God, there are signs someone was trying to force the door. They're after me, Henry. The Lord preserve me. They want to kill me.
Take it easy. If someone's after you, I'll see to him. I'll have a sniff around the town or lie in wait for him.
I don't know. What if he sneaks past you?
He won't, I promise. I'll hide in the garden, and if anyone starts creeping around after dark, I'll catch him.
You will, won't you? Good, good. And be sure to hide well. If he sees you, he won't come. An assassin after all this time.
bloody thing.
Halt! What are you doing here?
Quiet, for God's sake. You'll wake the whole monastery.
Silence! For God's sake, I caught you in the middle of an assassination attempt.
Assassination? What are you on about?
Are you Lord Pekar, the one who was on the crusade?
Well, yes. How'd you know that?
Because you've come to assassinate Conrad Kieser.
Kieser? He's living here in the monastery?
Well, yes. Right here in this house. What's your business here?
It's all a terrible mistake. I've a long-standing arrangement with the custodian here, Sir Sebastian von Berg. I supply him with salt and spices, and I've come to realise how he's been cheating me repeatedly. The dispute's been running for a while and still has legs, so I wanted my money back, that's all. I've no quarrel with Conrad.
All right. I suppose I'll have to take your word for it. But stop creeping around here at night and trying to break into the house. Conrad is scared half to death and I need him in his right mind.
Very well. That does sound like Conrad. I'll think up some other plan. May the Lord watch over you.
Well, did you find anyone?
I did?
And?
You needn't fear. I kept watch the whole night and nothing happened. A few folk passed by, but nobody dangerous.
And what about Pekar? Are you saying he has no malicious intentions?
None. He's just doing some trade with the custodian. That's what brought him to where you were.
Well, if you're sure. But I'd still rather lie low for a while.
Come to Talmberg. You'll be surrounded by a whole garrison there.
Yes. Yes, I suppose that does make sense. Thank you, Henry. I'm in your debt. We'll meet at Talmberg.
Yeah.
A well-chosen site. You want to strike the gate, do you?
True.
We don't want to do more damage than necessary.
I quite understand. Sir Toth is holed up there, is he?
Just so, Master Conrad. I hear you have some accounts to settle with him.
Ah, not entirely. I've done with him. Sigismund trusted him more than me in his campaign against the Ottomans, and we all know how that ended up.
How did it end up?
Badly, my lord. The flower of French knighthood was slain there. Sigismund fled for his life, and I did too, I must confess.
Be assured we shall not make the same mistake here. We do not intend to starve them into submission, but to break down the gate.
I am at your service, my lords. We will build the trebuchet quickly. It will be ready in a matter of days. And I can supply, for example, Raketa to sweep the foe from the battlements.
Roquetta? I do not believe I've heard of such a term.
Raketa are missiles filled with black powder with a touch hole at the bottom to ignite it. They shoot forward, something like a hand cannon, but without rocks. The rocket is the missile.
I see. But we don't have black powder in these parts. Nor cannon.
Indeed. It should have occurred to me. But I am very fond of Roquetta, and I always think what Alexander the Great might have accomplished with them. I understand. We find ourselves in a conventional situation that demands a conventional solution.
I'm still hoping that Toth will see sense and parley with us.
He may well do so, especially when we set up the trebuchet on his doorstep.
Greetings.
I came to an agreement with Conrad.
He's already here. You wouldn't believe how clever that fellow is. Now we really will build that trebuchet. That I guarantee you.
The answer to my prayers. Just when I
Glad
wanted
I
to
could be of
vent
service.
my rage on someone.
I'm truly grateful to you.
arms!
And the
Get
men
over
will be
here!
too when the assault starts. Fine work. You've certainly saved many lives.
Thank you.
Hey, all of you, gather here! Raise the alarm!
Good luck then.
To arms! Get over here!
Murder a bear.
You and the other 100 mouths round here. The local
I know that.
Yeah.
My respects to you.
How are we doing with the food?
Who wants to know? One of their lordships?
No, I just wondered if there was anything you're short of.
Oh, I see. The lordling is wondering if we're in urgent need of anything. Well. To tell the truth, we don't have much meat. They bring it round often enough, but never as much as they should.
Yes, I've heard something like that.
I'll say. Every other man's moaning on about it. The gamekeepers are doing all they can, but they can't keep up. So if you know how to help them out, bring it right here. I'll take care of the rest.
Fine, I'll keep that in mind. Do we have any beer?
Christ, I wish we did. Our ale's all gone, and we've drained the local inn dry.
That's bad news.
Don't I know it? You can't go and catch a beer in the woods, either. But if you happen to know about some, let's hear it. News like that'd refresh me almost as much as a drink. And the lads, too. May the Lord watch over you.
Good day to you.
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Townburg.
I've hardly any beer left, but I have got a lot of goat's milk. Do you think that might lift their spirits? May the Lord watch over you.
Good day to you.
Yeah! I brought you some...
Stack it. What's going on?
God be with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad.
I need to bring a few keg.
I don't have anything that would last the journey there. And I certainly don't want to swing for poisoning anyone.
Good day to you.
I need to bring a few...
I'm a few kegs short myself. I'll be with you.
Could do with a bite to eat.
Greeting. God bless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christ.
Andrew, there's no more beer in Talmberg, and the soldiers are starting to grumble. Can't you send some there?
I could. There's nothing in it for me.
Just as a matter of interest, who do you pay your taxes to?
You're saying I should be paying the Talmberg towards Sir Divish? When Sir Havel of Volbeck was the master here, I managed to wriggle out of it. Nobody's come collecting since.
Well, right now, there are 3 noblemen camped by Talmberg, one of whom might be very interested to learn about all the tax you owe. I imagine he might want to collect it in the form of beer.
When you put it like that, I have got a few kegs I could send over. I won't lose out too much. They'd only spoil if I kept them longer, and I'd have to throw them away.
Just remember, if you poison them, they'll hang you for it.
Those soldiers would drink it up long before it has time to go off. And what's more, what with all that cabbage being eaten, it wouldn't occur to anyone the shits came courtesy of the beer. I'll have them loaded up right away and taken there. And give their lordships my regards. Tell them I'm sending my best beer as a gift. Why the devil shouldn't I get some goodwill out of this at least?
What do you think about...
What do I think?
People usually...
All to the...
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How come you're wearing...
I'm looking for some pitch for Talmberg.
Already? What happened to the last lot we supplied?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Do you have any, or don't you?
I do. I had a buyer lined up, but it's been a while since he showed his face. What do you need it for?
Talmberg's been taken by a horde of brigands, so we're laying siege to it. We could use some pitch.
Christ's blood. I hadn't heard the news. All right, it's all yours. You gave us a hand with that ginger when we needed it, and if it's for Sir Divish, I know my duty. If you want to haul it away yourself, feel free, or I can get someone to deliver it to you.
Thank you. God bless.
God be with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
God be with you.
The Chark.
That's handy. So Rubard will be...
Well, you can stop worrying.
Good. I'll get...
I've arranged some beer for you from the local tavern.
You're a proper treasure, you are.
I brought you...
Stack it over... What's going on? May the Lord watch over you.
I brought you some...
Stack it over...
That's the lot.
Great. If we're really going to have to storm the walls, then at least it should be with full bellies. Oh, and here's something for your trouble. Farewell.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
How are the men holding up?
They're a rabble. The out-of-towners are desperate to go home. And the locals, they've got nowhere else to go. So they're just generally complaining.
Are they causing trouble?
No trouble as such. It's true I've caught a few of them asleep on their watch. There's nothing a couple of lashes of the whip can't cure.
Well, there might be a simpler solution.
Whipping a man, simple enough. Just give one of them a beating, the others will remember. And when they forget, do it again.
But then you'd have an injured soldier. It occurred to me a herbal potion might do the trick.
I never heard of any wives' quackery helping troop morale. But Christ knows they could do with something to flush the booze out of them and keep their eyes open. God be with you. What the...
Greetings. What business have you?
How do you feel, Sir Divish? How's the shoulder?
I felt better, boy. I feel awful, truth be told, and my shoulder's paining me.
Let someone tend to the wound and you'll soon be better.
The flesh can be healed, perhaps. But the spirit... Henry, can you do something for me?
What is it you need, sir?
I need a priest as well as a physician. The closest was in Rovna, but I don't know what happened to him. And then there's the one from Ujits. What's his name?
Godwin. But why would you need a priest? The wound will heal, especially with the help of one of the monks.
It's not about me. I've got a lot of wounded here that won't see morning, and dead men, and I have to confess my sins. Good luck, Ben.